Here comes the catch.
The wind rises. Huh. Cha. Huh. Huh. Bow your head.
It's called an Akasha Terminal. It's a tool produced by the Academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata.
To make a big splash. Dance with the waves.
The god of wisdom's enemy is wisdom itself, and the oasis of knowledge is a mirage in the desert of ignorance. In the city of scholars, there is a push for folly, yet the god of wisdom makes no argument against it.
He's a guest, Candace. We were just sparring.
Is that right? I do apologize. Please come with me.
Candace is in a good mood.
Trainee Forest Ranger Kale reporting for duty. Hi! Fly! Colin Amber, help!
withering has been recorded in Sumeru for millennia. It's said that it originates from the depths of the world. I'm afraid we Rangers will be battling the withering zones here for a long time.
Can't see? I'll uproot you!
Go! Come on, let's go! There's a fortune to be made! And more is mine! Let's sweeten the deal!
Scatter! Terminate! Nip that in the bud.
Welcome to Dory's Divine Bazaar. Everything you need with service you can rely on. Want to take a nap? Stay dry? See a sumpter beast? No problem.